Hi Capricorn, it's Power and Light Tarot coming at you with the reading. Today we have an interesting reading. I hope you guys are all well. Yeah, I hope everybody had a great weekend. And let's get into it, Capricorn. And we have a few different cards here today, like we always do, right? And we start with Hermes, who is consoling this woman. And, he brought her a message. He's a messenger, right? You can tell by the wings. He's got a matching helmet and matching sandals with these wings, right? Yeah. And so she's sitting down on the couch and he has his hand on her shoulder here, like on her back, and he's definitely consoling her. It looks like there's an eclipse in the back. It does. Maybe it is. Maybe the moon is just starting to. It's kind of interesting. It kind of looks like a. It looks a little bit like a lunar eclipse, but or a solar eclipse. It's hard to say, but it doesn't really matter here. He's consoling her. That's really what this is about. A cycle's changing, though. Yeah. And we see the tiny, what this really looks more like even is a crescent, a tiny crescent moon. There's probably a name for that moon exactly. I feel like a precise word. But here he is consoling her, more importantly, right? And so, she's very, very upset. And it's almost like there's a couch and they're outside. And it's almost like he said, sit down, I have really bad news. Or he already told her and, she's already sat down here. Now, we see the Gemini symbol here, so definitely this is about communication. It sure is. And we see, yeah. And so we also have right here, Pisces, I beg your pardon, Capricorn, is the angel. And she's sitting next to the nun, and the nun's name is Moira here. And her name is not that, not that important, but I'm just calling this out, right? But this nun talks about accepting wisdom and the truth, and there's a rainbow behind her. And here's Moira, but Moira doesn't like either what she's been told, and so she's cutting this. She has scissors, like she's cutting the cord with somebody. And so this is bitterness and loneliness because she sits outside in her habit, right, in her, her dress. And so it's very cold to be sitting there. And so this is, depicting somebody who feels a cold and alone. It does. We have the Page of Wands here, and we know it's about a renewal or a new direction. Somebody's going in a new direction here, and they're telling somebody, and this person, whoever they are telling, is very upset. And it is the truth, and it's about learned awareness, right? Yeah, you have to learn it, right? Unless you get, hit by the tower, and then you'll be like, oh, I get it now. Okay, good. That was a hard one, but I get it, right? So here's justice, and justice is, about wisdom in this reading. It could be about a decision as well. And the Page of Wands is here. And I feel like this is about wisdom because this Page of Wands, there's two of them, and, they're different. But this one Page of Wands is, he can't even really hold on to his wand because he's kind of insecure, but he's really what it is immature. And somebody has learned here that they've been kind of behaving immaturely, or they are telling somebody who's very immature the truth, and that person can't handle it. It's either one. It really is. And over here we have the lunar eclipse. And remember, I was talking about that, and I didn't even, I put these cards out, but I really kind of really didn't recall this card, right? Because I was focusing up here. The culmination, release, and illumination. Yeah, because, eclipses are kind of they can be very intense. It is, a full moon typically. But definitely, this is a solar eclipse. Oh, here's the solar over here. Here's the lunar here. And so basically, this is the end of a cycle, right? Because the lunar eclipses are definitely the end of a cycle. So, right, we have a new moon, a full moon, things like that. And this culmination and release. Somebody sees the light here. I feel like it was by way of a tower, most likely, right? That's how most people learn at the school of hard knocks. Yeah. You get a noogie or a Charlie horse or whatever you get, right? And it sounds worse. It's usually worse than a noogie, right? And so we have Aries as well, and then we have Lilith, OMG. So Aries is about new beginnings, trailblazing, being innovative, standing up for yourself. It's a cardinal sign, and it is the first sign in the zodiac. And innovative is, clear, doing things in a new way. They start things. They're like, I'm sure there's a lot of Aries who have, just for one example, have startups, right? These new companies that kind of sprout up, and fearless Capricorn. What I've learned today, fearless is not that you're not really afraid anymore. It doesn't mean that you have any fear. It doesn't really mean that. In a wiser sense, it just means that you understand fear, right? You understand that it can control you, or that you can kind of uh, stand up for yourself. But this is really an understanding. There's a major awareness in this reading. And I feel like there's a major awareness for somebody stepping into their power, and also telling somebody about it. Like, this isn't going to work out, or I'm moving on, or something like that. And definitely moving on for a new direction. So we see the wisdom here with the Page of Wands next to Justice. Now we have Lilith, Capricorn. So I'm not sure what you've been up to here, but Lilith is, the little dark moon. Some people call it the black moon. Yeah, and, wherever Lilith shows up in your natal chart would be very interesting, right? Yeah, you guys should check that out, because Lilith is the dark moon or dark energy. And so, but Lilith can be what you don't want anybody to know about. Like, it's your dark side. It can be, right? And wherever it is in your chart can show you, can show you kind of maybe possibly what you are trying to hide, but it is usually something that we're not proud of, like our shadow side, and we don't want people to know about it, right? Unless you have a very loving person, and you have told that person, and hey, I'm working on this, and I know this about myself, things like that. But this is an energy that is often hidden, right? And this is power and activism as well, because it's like, once you understand here, like your kind of like your fears, but also the dark side of yourself. This is when you can step into your power, just when you're aware, right? Like, I'm not going to do that. I need to work on that, and blah blah, right? And gee, I've been doing this, wow, I was really asleep, and how can I improve myself, right? And so here's vengeance as well. And maybe somebody here is concerned and wants vengeance, Capricorn. Definitely not power and light. I don't have energy for that, right? I'd rather work on myself and move forward in my life. That is a very wasteful energy. It's kind of like when you fight with somebody, you're just wasting time. I mean, sometimes you have to let people know, hey, look, it's, don't tread on me, or don't step on me, or whatever. But to stand there and fight, or to waste a lot of time on that, it's just wasteful, right? So we could have somebody with vengeance here. And I say that because here is Hermes consoling the woman. She's very sad. Here she's bitter. And right in the middle is the angel. And she's pouring the water out. And this is like somebody's being told the truth here. It's the truth that I'm going on my own journey. That's what this reading is about. Yeah. It's very clear here with these Page of Wands. Yeah. I also feel like it's possible that this person who has gained so much wisdom and awareness is off the chain here, that this person was very immature, or they are moving on from somebody immature, right? And so here, Capricorn, this is really interesting. We have the box, and you guys ever remember those pizza commercials? I'm not going to say what name it is, because just because might not, might get in trouble for that, right? But go to the freezer and get the box, right? And so there's supposed to be cheese in it, right? They're just making a joke about about how some pizzerias would make everything was frozen and not fresh, and things like that, right? But for me, that pizza place was boxy anyway. It was, right, like cardboardy, right? So here we have Capricorn. You will receive a gift. We have a beautiful box here, and it's closed. So, and the bell, the announcement. Somebody, maybe that is your person, could be coming to you right here, Capricorn, or somebody here, to tell you that they're going in a new direction. Now, I don't think you're being consoled here, like you're the one that they're kind of walking away from, or going on a new direction. Going in a new direction is the proper. But, it looks more like somebody is coming to tell you something, that they are going in their own direction. And somebody, I don't know if they're going to tell you this part, but somebody could be darn angry, right? I don't feel like this is you, Capricorn, dressed up as the nun, right? I'm not sure, but I don't think it's you, the kind of bitter and lonely and kind of angry and, uh, yeah, a nun. I don't feel like that's you, right? Yeah. And so we also have, though, Capricorn, the feather and the ram. All right. So the feather is someone you know is undependable and insincere, and then we have the ram, a stubborn, aggressive person. So, there could be three people in this reading, Capricorn, unless your person is behaving this way, right? Unless they are the one who is, maybe immature. Maybe you're telling somebody, I'm going in a new direction. You could be doing that. The story here is clear, right? The names were changed to protect kind of the innocent. If you guys ever remember that show, it's very old, but nowadays the names were not changed to protect anybody. No, good God, no. In fact, it was quite the opposite, right? Hell yeah. And so getting back to this, though, Capricorn, it could be three people in this reading. So let's get started here with Lilith, this dark energy, and this angry, bitter woman here, and somebody who's very upset, and then this ram and the feather, right? Stubborn, aggressive, and somebody's undependable and insincere. So, and this undependable person and insincere, this could be painting a story of whoever is going in a new direction is being insincere with somebody else because they're like, hey, I got to do this, right? Yeah, I got to go in a new direction, right? Or I'm going to live on Lilith for the rest of my life, right? Nobody wants to live on Lilith. I'm not sure if you could live there or not, but hey, nobody wants to live there because too much dark energy, right? Yeah. Once you become self-aware, you move on to happier places. We also have Rido, right? And this is a rune, Capricorn, and I've just pulled this one, but this is about the chariot of the sun. But the chariot talks about forward movement. This can talk about making decisions. Now, in the reverse, let's have a look at that. It's interesting here. In the reverse, Capricorn is, are we attracted to danger? They're being a little extreme here for some, but these questions are just made here to kind of, kind of represent the energy here. But this is about evolution and travel and a shift. And there's a major shift here. With the Page of Wands here, she's telling the truth here. This is like an awakening where the angel pours the water out and the rainbow sits behind her, and here's the free flow of the river. So she's pouring it into the river, and so what this means is that somebody's finally in their flow. They're going with the flow of the direction they're supposed to take, or maybe the person they're supposed to be with, or possibly a career they want. But this is definitely like kind of, kindly move out of my way. I've grown. I'm very aware of what I need in my life, and it's not this anymore, right? And I feel like somebody's going to be darn angry here. And it also looks like somebody is outgrowing somebody in this reading. Yes, that's what's going on, right? Yeah, somebody's outgrowing somebody. Okay. It's interesting with Moira, the nun, somebody could be saying, like, this is it. I'm not going by these beliefs anymore. I'm stepping out of it. Like, I don't believe this is all like very kind of self-restricting and full of control and things like that. Yeah, there's a lot of that, and people still don't get it. Oh no, this is to help. No, dude, please, right? So, somebody could be stepping out of the way they used to believe. And I feel like somebody's becoming very mature here and they're outgrowing somebody else. Yeah, that's what's going on here, Capricorn. They can't outgrow you, though, Capricorn, because you guys, the 10th house is the house of ambition. So you guys are, whatever it takes to get there, right? Yeah, you guys, maturity, whatever, seeing things in a very, in a way that is true in order to step forward. This is Capricorn. Now, in the reverse, this here, I say that about Capricorn because Capricorn is a little goat, and they typically do whatever it takes to get to the top. Now, if they have to really grow up or whatever it is, right? Or, or just, maybe, step right over power and light. Bye, power and light. I'm moving forward, right? I used to make a joke with this guy here that I was in a band with. I go, well, one day I'll be famous, and you'll come to see me sing, and I'll say security, right? He used to laugh at that, right? We're still friends to this day, and we're still working on music. It is when I allow time, right? Okay. So in the reverse, this Rido can be something that is unforeseen, a project obstructed. Okay, it was a project obstructed, right? We see Moira mad. She's like, what? And and the angel says, oh no, and this is the truth. This is wisdom. I'm wise now. I need to move on. And here's the Page of Wands to show it. Yes, it is. Or there is, yes. And a battle for power. Yeah, there's a power struggle here. For sure there's a power struggle to leave somebody behind that is being outgrown. Yeah. Or somebody that was trying to have control over somebody. This is an interesting reading. It definitely is. And so a battle for power, obscurity, reviewing and rethinking. Well, for sure, we're in what is it? Mercury retrograde. This is a time to rethink when things slow down and Mercury spins backwards, right? Mercury is all about your brain and your thinking, but when it is in retrograde, it's a time to reflect now on how far we've come and if we need to possibly, to rethink things and possibly take a new direction. It's really a time for wisdom, right? It is, because it's a slower energy. And it can be a time for wisdom, and it's sometimes it's just time to think things, right? Think things over, and Rido directs us toward perfection, yeah. And the warning, we'll look at the warning because this is about progression and evolution toward a greater awareness, but this was reversed. The warning is Rido warns us about those of imprudence and inflexibility. So this talks about somebody here who is being inflexible. It warns us of that, right? Because somebody here is going in their own direction, and and they think that their person's gonna be, bitter. And over here is the Ram, a stubborn, aggressive person, and over here is someone is insincere and undependable. But this Ram is more telling, kind of, because somebody is on their own new journey and they're saying, move out of the way, please. Yeah, in a nice way, though, I believe. Kindly step aside. You're blocking my spiritual journey. You're blocking my journey here on earth, right? You're just blocking me, basically. And I feel like this person has allowed it because of a low self-awareness. Yeah, okay. We don't want that to continue here for anybody. Not just about their own lives, but about the greater collective. No, and it's time for people to really wake up, right? Yeah, to their own powers and to the things that are going on around them. It's time for those people to see the truth, right? And not what they are being told. So let's get into this, Capricorn, because it's going to be an interesting reading. And thus far it is. I feel like it is. That was kind of a lot, but there's a lot going on in this reading, Capricorn. Yeah. So let's see what we have, and we're going to put the cards out a little bit slow because we have to see, we have to check, make sure that nobody's in their birthday suit. No, we can't have that, right? Yeah. And let's see what we have, you guys, for Capricorn, please. And we're going to leave the camera here, and we will move it down in just a moment, Capricorn. You guys see these cards enough? I feel like maybe you can. And let's see here. Let's see what we have, Capricorn. And we have the Eight of Cups, you see? This is the first card. The bottom of the deck here is Temperance, and here she is. Here's another angel, and she's also pouring water, right? So she is integrating here. This energy is this is for spiritual growth. Like, I need a little of this and I need a little of that. That's why, some readers will say this is blending, right? Which, but that's what it is. But I need a little bit of this energy. I need this, she's stepping into the water. I need the energy from the water, which is intuition and wisdom. And I need the energy of the earth, which is grounding, basically, right? Yeah, it is grounding, but there is wisdom in both. Uh, hmm Yeah, this is somebody who is spiritually grounding themselves in order to receive all that is available, right, by the universe, right, which is our birthright. This is to stand in your power and to live in the way that you want. That's what everybody. That is natural law, and we're not going to talk about it here because Three of Cups reversed at the bottom of the deck here, and we have the Ace of Wands, Capricorn, and this is about some type of third party ending. Now, it could be like a real third party. I mean, where three people are involved. It definitely could be. Somebody's really angry here, and somebody's like flying the coop, right? But it could also be this energy where this third party could be a poor self-awareness, a lower vibration. I mean, that is a huge energy, isn't it? It is. So, but it's not as big as love. No, it's not as great as love. And so somebody's moving on with self-love here. That's what this is, right? Yeah. Whoever's in this reading, I just want to give them a hug, right? Because you're evolving, right? And thank you, right? You can be going, be quiet, right? And here's the Ace of Wands with it. So this is some type of ending, some type of third party that was holding somebody back here, whether or not it's physical or spiritual or what have you, right? And here's the Ace of Wands, all for a new beginning. We're going to move these cards, Capricorn, because that's at the bottom of the deck, and we will leave it there. So we start the reading with the Eight of Cups. Somebody's walking away, as I have been saying for the past, 15 minutes here, right? And the Ten of Wands, it's burdening to walk away. Here you are, Capricorn, right? Showing up as the beautiful Persian princess. For me, that's kind of who you are. Maybe you're Italian, but looks more like kind of like Persian here or something. It's beautiful, right? It could be anybody, you guys. Yeah, it could be. Let's see what else we have. And but it looks kind of like that. And we have the Eight of Swords. We have the King of Pentacles reversed here, Capricorn. And yeah, and this guy looks like Bosnian, right? This big tall man here. But this could be you, Capricorn, right? The Queen and the King of Pentacles is here. Most likely that's you. Could be both. This is your mindset. So I feel like right now you're feeling upside down about the situation. You may have to walk away from somebody or something that has been dragging you down and reducing your, just kind of holding you back in terms of your spiritual journey and your growth, your awareness. Self-awareness is just basically stepping into your power. I mean, right? Once you are aware, this is when you are able to take control of your life, right? So that's like the next step. It's all wrapped up together, right? We have the Hanged Man and the Ten of Swords. You see, I told you there's endings here, right? The Nine of Wands and the King of Swords. So, maybe there's somebody here who is an air sign. They could be with the King of Swords. We could have Pisces over here. But, it could be anybody, Capricorn, right? These could be your energies in terms of your chart, whoever I'm reading to. But it doesn't reading for, right? But there could be a divine couple here. And it definitely could make sense that somebody would be moving on for their divine partner kind of because of this angel. Because although she talks about, blessing things, right? And she talks about love, but she talks about wisdom. And this can be healing because there is so much water and it is flowing. And here is the rainbow behind her. Somebody here is moving on for their growth. It looks like even their sanity in a way. It does here. Once you realize that you are awakened, you can't, and that wherever you have been in your life, if it's not in alignment with the person you are now, you're like, what? It's bye. You got to go, whatever it is, right? And so let's see what else we have, Capricorn. And we have the Page of Cups. So, in your environment, Capricorn, you're uncertain and feeling insecure about this situation. It does look like that. I mean, you're showing up here as, the wounded warrior. And you have two completions here, and they are tandem here. They're vertical. We have the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Swords. So this has been very burdening and, maybe to you it's been burdening, but it could have been very burdening to another person for sure, but even maybe a third person, because somebody's outgrown somebody. So now somebody's being left behind. And we start the reading here with the Eight of Cups, or something, some energy. Somebody's being left behind, or a whole way of believing, like screw this, right? Yeah, can I say screw? That's not really a bad word. And so the Ten of Wands, Capricorn, is crossing you here. Could be challenging you, could be supporting you, but it doesn't look like it really supports anybody. But interesting here, sometimes when we see that something doesn't flow and something wasn't flowing, this is what empowers us. Like, this isn't flowing, it's time to move on, right? Moving on up like the Jetsons did. Yeah, see, not the Jetsons, the Jeffersons. And we have the Queen of Pentacles with the Hierophant, Capricorn. It looks like somebody's married here, or definitely leaving behind old belief systems. And that's what I keep saying, right? It's either a moving on from a way to believe, or moving on from somebody, right? Or like a physical person, or both. It definitely could be both here. Eight of Swords and the Page of Swords. So you're wondering if this person will release themselves. Maybe this is you in the past. I need to release myself from this, possibly. But you look very curious in this reading. I feel like you might want somebody to grow up over here, or at least become majorly self-aware. I'm not sure if there's an immaturity here, but there could be, right? And it's no digs, because we all grow at our own. Yeah, there's no judgment over here, for sure there's not. The only judgment you can really pass on anybody is if their life's not working and they don't stop to think, well, what's wrong? What am I doing wrong? Right? Because they continue to, have speed bumps in their life, or that's not a good word. They continue to like burn and crash, or things keep happening to them and they keep looking at themselves as a victim. That's the only time. But for somebody who, keeps having these problems, and one day they go, hey, I'm not going with the flow here. There's a reason why there's tension here. I need to change this and that, right? And I feel like Lilith has a lot to do with that here. And the King of Pentacles reversed, you have the Knight of Wands. So you're in the reverse because you want this person to take action, most likely, Capricorn. Now, it's possible this is all you, but I don't believe it is. I feel like you want this person to wake up. It looks like that. But, reading can be switched all day long, twice on Sunday. But I feel like you want someone to change here, and I feel like they are. I feel like you're not really like pushing them. You're just kind of like, well, someday, right? Someday over the rainbow. Yeah, kind of like that. Like, when are you going to wake up here? Okay. Here is the Hanged Man, the Knight of Swords. This is going to happen. Somebody's sacrificing something in their life. And we saw that up here with the Page of Wands, right? I got to go. I'm on a new path now. I got a new attitude, right? Ten of Swords is your concern with the Empress. This is your concern. So you want an ending in your life. You want, it's not, I don't think it's your ending, but you want somebody to wake up here, Capricorn. And if it's you who's doing that, then, hats off to you. Then, because, hey, now your life is going to change and go in these beautiful, in a beautiful direction, right? This is when we allow things to come into our lives, when we are aware. Yeah, it just works out like that, right? Here's a Nine of Wands, and this is in your environment here. You could be somebody's third-party Empress, Capricorn. You could be, right? You got, you look like you have little strawberries here on your dress. Isn't that cute, right? Maybe there's a Libra here, or a Taurus. There could be. And so we also have the Six of Pentacles in your environment here. Yeah, it looks like there's third-party energy here. It does. And you look like you're tired, like you're carrying a burden here. This looks tired. Like, I'm tired, and I want this person to wake up and kind of walk their talk, but it's more like wake up and step into a new journey, and and enjoy this self-awareness, and step into a new life, basically, right? And here's the King of Swords. We have the Page of Pentacles with it. So you're hoping this person's going to make a decision here, or you're hoping that they are standing in their cerebral power, like they're smart now, and so you can have a new beginning, a new start with them. You could be hoping for news here, Capricorn. Page of Pentacles. We have 3 pages here, so definitely I feel like you are kind of waiting for news. But you look like you're waiting for someone to like call you and say, "Hey, I woke up. Hey, I realize here that this is like whatever I was doing was ridiculoso." And here's another page here. So I feel like you're waiting for some news. 2 of Wands. Yeah, you're waiting to find out if this person is chosen, if they're going to step into a new path. Mm-hmm. Possibly if you're going to move forward with them, you could definitely be doing that, because I feel like that's what this is all about. This is a very telling reading. We're going to go to the extended, Capricorn, and they're all super affordable. And this was a long reading. I feel like it was. And let's look at your person's first 3 cards in their reading. We will, and let's see what we have. And typically, this is your person here. You guys know how I do these readings, right? And here's your person consoling somebody, and crossing your person here is definitely accepting wisdom into their life for a new beginning. This is going with the flow of life. Stop fighting, stop fighting the flow. Step out of the tension, and realize that there's blessings in life and that I deserve them too. And also trust your intuition because of all the water. Trust your wisdom for a new beginning, right? And there's always an ending with a new beginning. There's always a new beginning with an ending. That's just how life is. And over here is Moira. So your person here most likely has somebody very stubborn in their life. Somebody who's going to be bitter and angry about this because they're being cut out here. Most likely here. And she's doing the cutting though, but she's very sad to do it. Yeah, she is. So we're going to end this reading, and this will be a 10-card spread. We're also going to do their tarot spread, Capricorn. Thanks so much for joining me here. We're going to find out how they feel about you. We're going to be using the regular cards here for you tarot lovers. And we're going to also see, Capricorn, what they want, what they're afraid of, right? Their environment, and how they are looking at this, what you don't know about them. And it's a long list. Thanks so much for joining me. God bless. And the link is below for the extended. And if you guys would like a 5-minute psychic reading for free, the link is below. It is not me doing the reading. All the information is there. So you can check that out for yourself if you would like. I'm also doing my own private readings. Thanks so much, you guys. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.